All right, we want to go and welcome everybody to continuing coverage of the Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel. Coming to you live from the Potomac Curling Club.
Located in beautiful Laurel, Maryland.
Yes.
Just outside of the Washington, D.C. metro area.
Which thankfully has power, unlike my house.
So Adam's doing our operating today. I'm John Hale, and I'm going to be joined by Enrique Capinti here in a minute, doing commentary. Our featured game today is between Diamond State and Bucks County 2.
This is a C event.
It's a C event, and because it is a Saturday game, this is a lout event. So for those people who do not understand what lout means, it means loser's out, loser goes home. You can use that one or this one.
So that's happening on sheets A and B this morning, and also on sheets C and D, there is a B division, which is also a lout game, but it's a B event. And the winner of the games on C and D will play tomorrow morning at 8:30 in the morning. So kind of stinks to be them, I suppose. But, you know, in a Bonspiel, when you make up the draw, you know someone's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
But there is a guarantee of 3 games there.
There is, of course.
So all these teams have played at least 3 games. This would be their 3rd game.
All right, so the game's already underway. The first Yellowstone was delivered by Diamond State. The lead for Bucks County. Bill just threw his first stone. First stone from Diamond State went into the house. Bucks County pops that out the back.
Let's get behind it. Nice job, guys. There you go, Mark. Thanks for waking us up.
Diamond State's lead throws his second and final stone of the first end.
Looks like they want to get draw around there. Or no, it's light. It's probably a guard. Well, got in the house there, and it's the shot rock now on the center line.
We did get the skips mic'd up today, so we do have the opportunity to listen in on some strategy later on in the end.
Very good.
So this is Bucks County's second shot of the first end. Looks like he's just going to try to throw a light tap, maybe. It's on their red, so it's going to push their red back. Nice little tap back.
Yeah, it's under
cover. Yellow's going to guard up.
While you guys are out there watching, we are also watching the chat. We've been pretty interactive with that this Bonspiel, so you can join us there.
So as Adam did mention, there are 4 games going on. This is the first draw of the day, so it's a fresh scrape, fresh pebble. The ice usually is a little bit slow in the first draw, simply because they haven't had bodies out on the ice for the last hour warming the ice shed up. But it usually comes up to speed pretty quickly. It usually takes about 1 in for the ice to come up to speed. Got the Yellow got their stone, their shot stone covered up pretty well, so Red's going to try to do an angle run back.
trying to get fancy there.
In the first end.
Yep. Well, it's a hit, so light tap hit, roll behind.
It is down weight.
Oh, what's he? Oh, I guess he called drawing through the gap there.
No, he called a hit.
A hit, a tap back on his front rock.
It's pretty light though.
Yeah, but it's not curling much. Gonna get a little bit of a kiss there. Not the bad result. Can still get to that yellow in the back if he has to.
Yeah, Yellow's gonna try to cover that up now. So their second, Kevin's gonna throw his second and final stone at the first end. Diamond State? Where do they play out of? Delaware.
Delaware.
We have a couple of significant others next to us.
So you took the long drive, 2.5 hours? 2 hours?
So Kevin.
So you're staying here or going back? Staying here, okay.
So Kevin Eller's their second. He looks really familiar. Did he curl out of our club at one point? Oh, okay. He's just been here for other Bonspiels. Okay. Maybe I've drank with him. I don't know.
Now it looks like Red is trying to get that hit through the gap there. It's got to be a pretty heavy.
That's going to be pretty
throw.
heavy to get through that gap.
Unless they're just trying to get rid of the yellow guard there. Well, the miss is not too bad because if you miss because it curled too much, you're going to get rid of that yellow biter there.
A miss on either side is really not bad. It's good. You miss wide and then you pick the guard off.
And that's a lot of what 5 and under is. You got to think about what if your thrower will not get the shot that you really want, but not do too much damage if they miss the shot.
It's still down weight. I think it's going to over curl.
You might get the bite. Yeah, it's already on that biter yellow there.
Yeah.
But clears it up, opens it up a little more.
This early, you have to throw more ice, more weight than that if you want it to run straight.
Calling for a freeze now.
Diamond State's into their vice stones, so Derek Haynes is throwing his first stone of the vice rocks. Dangerous shot. Red is set up pretty nice.
Oh wow!
And that was way too heavy. That's what I was gonna say. It's a dangerous shot. A lot of bad things could have happened there. So now Red's got to figure out how he can cover this up so that yellow can't sneak in. Red does have hammer in this end. So this is Bucks County's first skip stone. So Steve Turner is going to throw this. Sorry, vice stone.
A little light. Sweeper's on it right away.
I don't even think that. I think that might not even make it to the hog line. Yep, they gave up. So the vice hogs his first stone. He has to pay the piggy 25 cents. So for people who are just tuning in, who have not been watching any of the Bonspiel so far this weekend, this is the Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel. This is a Bonspiel sponsored by the GNCC, the Grand National Curling Club, which is the governing body of curling on the East Coast. This is a Bonspiel strictly for men, male teams who have 5 years of experience or less. So we call it a 5 and under Bonspiel. So everybody on the ice this weekend has been curling for 5 years or less, and you're going to see, from the various games, various degrees of skills and ability, because some players have more time than others. But this is an opportunity for these guys to come out and have a competitive game against people who are basically at their same skill level.
But mostly it's a lot of fun for everybody involved to come and enjoy and meet people from other clubs who are playing at about the same level and get to know other people.
He picked that front guard. So as a previous Dykes Bonspiel winner, I had the pleasure of winning the C event a couple of years ago, and being the runners-up in the B event. I will tell you, it is a very awesome event. Usually, lots of camaraderie, lots of fun. taste of competition in there. So
Yeah, and if you come on Sunday for the finals, you get piped in by an actual piper, and it's a pretty nice event. And the final game is a 10 end. Normally all these games are 8 ends, but the final is 10 ends for this Bonspiel. And it's very, very friendly and very nice.
okay.
We also get some players who end up being awesome curlers that have played in these 5 and under Bonspiels.
All right, so Diamond State skip. Brian's getting ready to throw his first stone. He's going to try to take out the red stone in the middle of the house. Try to flop over, I believe. He's narrow, and the sweepers are on it.
Yeah, going with the light out turn, but it's going to curl a lot by the time it gets there.
Sweepers held it, but it's still going to way over curl, I believe. Yeah, he just kissed the red stone. Slides to the edge of the 8. So red's going to try to guard. Well, actually, they're going to try to put another pointer in and be sitting 3. That's their desire.
Now, for those that are not very familiar with curling, the point system, we count the rocks at the conclusion of an end when all 16 rocks have been thrown, 8 for each team. And then the closest rock to the center, that team will score, the other team will not score. And then you keep looking for the next rock away from the center. In this case, you would have 1 red for that one on the left side, and then a second red for the one on the right side, and then the next closest rock is a yellow, so red would score 2 if we had finished here. But of course, we'll just measure or take the visual appraisal of who is closer at the end, the conclusion of this end.
We also had a question in the chat about who was Francis Dykes, which I actually don't know. And a quick Google search just said how many Dykes Bonspiels there.
No, so actually Francis Dykes was a he was a curler in the GNCC who advocated for bringing new curlers into the sport, into a competitive mode. And so he was the first kind of curler in the GNCC to advocate for a 5 and under Bonspiel. And so this was kind of his baby. It was called just the GNCC 5 and under for the first couple of years. Once Francis Dykes passed away, it was renamed the Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel. But he was the proponent for curling, for 5 and under curling competitions. So. Likewise, there's now a women's 5 and under competition, the Childs.
Elizabeth Childs Memorial
Bonspiel, which is a 5 and under women's team, and there's also a 5 and under mixed team competition where there's 2 men, 2 women on each team.
That's the Raymond Kaiser Memorial Bonspiel. So these are pretty. They're pretty involved. There are always lots of teams that sign up for it, and it's always hosted by a club that has at least 4 sheets because of the sheer number of teams that are playing. And this is the 79th edition of the Francis Dykes Memorial Bonspiel. So this has been played for a long time. There's a big trophy behind us here in the warm room that's going to be given temporarily to the team that wins this Bonspiel. There are trophies for other events also. Teams that have lost 1 game but haven't lost any others go to the second event.
This is Brian's second and final stone of the first end. He looks a little wide.
Got to wait for it to curl and not touch that red.
It's going to pick off the red.
Oh.
Crash. So it will leave red the opportunity to draw for 3. Draw for 3. So they're going to draw for 3 with a little backing possibly on the left side, although I believe he's just going to try to hit the button.
Yeah, there's no way to really get more than 3 here, so the best shot is what he called, just to draw in. Anything that outcounts those 2 yellows, one on the bottom right, one on the top left, that's going to be the call here.
All right.
Just got to get the weight right, which is not always easy in the first end when you have thrown only one rock before. But it looks like he's doing pretty well. Sweeper's on now.
Good backing, that's wide now.
And they get it.
They'll get the 3.
Yeah. So Bucks County starts the game by drawing for a 3rd point. So they get 3 points there. The rest of the stones in the house don't matter. So it's 3 red, 3 for Bucks County after the first end.
All right. Another action, sheet D, that's Potomac 4 and Philly. They blanked the first end. And sheet C is just wrapping up, so we'll get you an update there.
So Bucks County, now that they took a couple of points in the first end, now the yellow team, Diamond State, has hammer, which means they deliver the last stone of the second end. So Bucks County's first shot, he called for a center line guard. Looks to be a little heavy. The sweepers are not sweeping it at all, which means it's probably going to end up in the top of the house.
And a little bit wide, too, so it might not make its way back to the center line.
It's coming down, so it did not actually make it to the house. Okay. This ends up being a nice 3 guard. It's a little off center, but it's still usable.
And the number system that John's using here is what we use on the ice. When we rate the guards in terms of weight, we call them 1, 2, and 3. 1 is a guard that's on the first third past the hog line. That's the foul line at the target end. And the 2 guard would be on the middle third, and the 3 guard would be the third of that section of the ice sheet closest to the rings.
So yellow called for a draw in. He was a little heavy and went through the house. So red skip is being a little aggressive here. He's calling for the second shot to come in, not be a center line guard. So
yeah, he wants it at what we call the top 12, the 12-foot radius ring. In our club, it's the blue ring. In the Olympics, you saw it was like a teal color.
So by coming in, he's going to try to force the other team to basically play a hit game, hit, and then at the end of the end, he's hoping that the other team only has 1 stone left in play. We call it a forcing a team to 1, which is probably one of the better things you can do if you don't have hammer in the end. It ends up being a nice center line guard there. It's just off center. So good tap-up material for later. Yellow Vice is asking for a draw in behind the guards.
And he's opting to come around that new guard that was placed in. He can get it close to the center with that. The other option would be coming between the 2 reds, but there's always the risk that you're going to end up tapping the red into the house instead of coming around it.
Looks to be light. Skip comes out to help sweep. Probably only going to buy him about another 2 or 3 inches. So he comes up with a corner guard, a little high. Not really what you want when you're, if you didn't throw corner guard on first end. So first
In other actions in the first end, Broomstones stole 2 to lead Potomac 2-0, and Jersey Pinelands was a force to 1 against Albany, so that's 1-0. And of course, D has no score at the moment. They've blanked. But that won't be the case for sure in the second end, because there are 4 rocks currently in the house over on sheet D.
So Bucks County's second. Dave Abronson's throwing his first stone. The call was a draw behind, although if he...
so they're trying to go through the gap there,
yeah,
but if, in his case, he can tap behind, tap one of the other 2 rocks, and it wouldn't be too bad for him.
looks to be perfectly through the gap.
That's an amazing shot.
Very nice shot. Ends up being top of the 8-foot ring. Yellow skip's still calling for a draw in. The gap is getting smaller and smaller. I don't necessarily see how he draws in on that side anymore, but
Well, this kind of shows you in terms of the strategy at a 5 and under. I think most of us would start picking out the front,
yeah,
center.
I would third stone here. I would be clearing stuff out.
I would be like, all right, time to clear it out. But it's that insistence that you can like make the draws. Oh, just give him one more shot, one more shot.
Yeah, there's also the preference. If you know that your thrower is not very good at hits or not very good at draws, you might select a shot that might not be the optimal shot for that moment, but it's the optimal shot for that person to do at that moment.
So, of course, all three of the people on the mics today, all three of us are skips in our own various teams. We all have different.
With more than 5 years experience.
We all have different.
But I think we've all played
Yes.
the 5 and unders
Yes.
and had lots of fun.
Yes.
We all
Ba-
have.
back about 10, 12 years ago.
I'm not that far back, but yes. It is sad to age out of the Dykes. It is definitely when you play your last game in the Dykes, it's kind of sad.
Well, my last game of the Dykes, so even a little bittersweet for me. My last game of the Dykes was the B event final.
Was that with Jay?
No. I was vicing for Steven Enix.
Oh yeah, okay.
And we had the game in hand, and I talked him into a bad shot, and we ended up losing the B event final. So, as the vice, I gave him poor advice. So, it's one of those cases of hindsight to 2020. We should have done a simpler shot. But anyway, bygones be bygones. But I will say, so typically when we talk about curling teams, each of the team members kind of have various responsibilities. Your leads usually are responsible for throwing guards. They're usually not people you're asking to throw big hits. Likewise, your skip is usually somebody who, in general, has to be somebody who can basically draw to the button on demand.
And do a bunch of different shots.
Correct. And your vice is usually your vice is your best hitter on the team. He's the guy who has to open a hole so that the skip can ultimately make the final shot. And the second is usually an all-around jack of all trades. He has to be able to do everything from draws to hits to tap backs to you name it. So as a curler's skill increases, they get moved around from one position to another. Based on their skills and their capabilities. I will say that a lead versus a second versus a vice is not solely based on the number of years you've been curling. It's really based on your skill in that particular position. So I've seen some really, really skilled leads who have the ability to drop a stone on the center line, 2 inches off the rings, on demand, end after end after end. And so
I like throwing lead. I throw lead in our competitive league here every now and then. It's a pretty chill position. And I like throwing lots of draws and guards, so that's my preference.
So
Lead.
Yeah.
Throw your guards, sweep a lot, right?
Yeah.
So red came in, yellow's going to come in and kind of try to run him back. It's a little wide, gets the stone, but the yellow's going to flop out, touch the sideline, which automatically puts it out of play. Red is set up here to steal. They have, a couple of centerline guards and one in the top of the 8. So they're setting up a situation where they're going to try to force yellow to draw for 1 as the final shot, which on Saturday morning is not an easy shot to make. So these guys have already played a couple of games. They had to get up early today to come out here. This is when the fatigue of a
Not
large,
much sleep.
of a large scale Bonspiel starts to take in.
A little bit of a tap there on the guard.
But doesn't end up so bad either.
No,
so.
it protects against the draw on that side. And hitting it doesn't put
So once
yellow in.
again, the yellow skip is not electing to
open up.
open stones.
Still trying to come around and draw.
Vice's second and final stone for Diamond State. He's way light.
And he's probably going to tap that other yellow that went right by it. That's something you can promote later, but shots are getting more complicated, more likely to succeed late in the end.
And all he's actually done is blocked up a draw even more. So
yeah, then he's forced into a promote, which is a harder shot. And on the upside, he can always draw anywhere as long as he's in full 8-foot circle, the white circle. Those are open on the sides, but the side of the sheet is always more unpredictable than the middle because you don't play much there.
So the red skip, Steve Johnson, he's getting ready to throw his first stone of the end here. He's going to throw a guard. He's going to try to guard the promote on the left side, that yellow stone they just threw. So
does get a little dicey out there. I know yesterday watching a few of the games, especially particularly on sheet B, anything outside that you flopped out was staying out and floating out. So at least coming towards the warm room as you're looking at it on that right side. I know typically even for league play here, it's been that way as well for a little while. Like somehow outside of the 4-foot lines, it's just not
running straight.
Yeah, it's running straight or floating out a little bit.
Yeah, especially this line on this sheet. I played here on Wednesday night, and it was pretty straight, exactly where they're throwing now.
Not touching this one.
Well, he might get the biter there.
comes up a little short. But it is guarding against the draw, which is really what he wanted.
Yep, forces them to go for the promote instead of the guard, instead of the draw around.
Let's see if we can listen in and see what he's saying.
Is he mic'd up?
He's mic'd up.
Oh, does he have a microphone?
Yeah, they thought it was light because we don't know. I mean, we hadn't turned that line, right?
Fine, but I hung out just enough.
Yeah, if we would have, yeah, we just needed to see that this much quicker, and it's a good call for him.
We do have
He
the
doesn't
skips
He
on
doesn't hit that
microphones.
one, he hits that one. Or he hits those over there.
But I think what we're hearing now is the opposing skip.
Sorry. So I have to flip those on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the mute buttons.
Huh?
Those are the mute buttons.
So I unmuted the wrong skip.
Oh.
So we got to see what his thoughts were on the shot. So he comes down a lot of weight. He's going to hit that red, which is going to move it out, but I don't know if it's really helping him too much other than opening up the capability of a draw.
If he was trying to promote that yellow, it was definitely a little too hard.
Let's see if we can listen in now. I think I have these backwards.
Because what we could do is
I definitely have them backwards.
show off for our wives, Stephanie and Megan, who are watching right now. And just come in, backline weight, tap that. I'd like to tap it over here a bit and just out count.
Yeah.
So
Even if it goes over there, that's not the worst.
probably more like back 8 weight, but give me probably the edge of the, well, probably the edge of this stone is about right.
All right, so obviously the skip, knowing he's mic'd up, talking to the audience for
Playing
us.
to the audience.
Yes.
Yeah. Which you don't often see.
I think it's the throwing team, the red.
Yeah, it's Bucks County. That was Steve Johnson.
I was wondering.
Talking to his wife, Stephanie. Was his wife Stephanie? Was that
Stephanie and Megan,
Yes.
Yeah.
their
So,
wives.
Shout out to them. I forgot I was mic'd up once. And
I think there's a legend about this.
I believe everybody who's mic'd up for the first time forgets they're mic'd up about halfway through the game.
And I was
things are
going,
not going well.
And I was, well, it wasn't about the game. It was like I was coordinating the spiel, and I was complaining to the other skip about like some of the stuff that was going on in the spiel, with a lot of obscenities.
So
it was not PG.
So Steve is calling for a draw here. I thought he was originally going to do a run back of his red there, but he's going to call a draw. Try to get another pointer into the house. He's narrow. It's gonna hit on the yellow. It might actually
end up promoting the yellow right in.
He picks, which is actually a saving grace, and he's gonna get a third stone into the house. So
okay. So what do you do as yellow now, John?
In off.
In off
that red.
No, believe it or not,
Adam, this is a 5 and under.
That's what I would do, even in a 5 and under.
Let's see if we can get
I'm also lefty, so that shot's actually way easier for me.
Yeah. On the other side, there's still some good draws on the other side. It's whatever he feels more comfortable with, his hits or his draws.
Yeah, he just has to get to more or less halfway into the 8-foot to score.
Yeah, just hit that rock on the inside, and he's going to roll in. Even trying to go for a draw, maybe a back of house draw.
I'm not getting any sound on that skip. It's over here. I'm getting it over here, but I'm not getting it over there.
Dobbs? Where's Dobbs?
Well, we're not going to go interrupt them mid-game.
Is Dobbs actually playing?
No, Dobbs can't play.
I think Dobbs isn't 5 and under.
Dobbs not the 5 and
Michael Dobbs. All right, so this is the
last rock for yellow.
Diamond State's last rock. He's gonna try to do a off in or a draw. It's way wide. It's not gonna come back.
But he might get that red out. No, it's
it's
wider than that red. Yeah,
it's gonna be a steal of 3 for Buckley County.
Yeah, what happens here is the rocks that if you're trying to hit something that's way on the outside there. What happens is that they stay very, very straight when you're throwing way out on the outside. Or he's not talking.
Top 4.
So we can hear the other teams.
We can hear the red.
The other teams. I tested them before we put them out. No, we know that for a fact.
Go! I just leave it as a 3.
So. That's definitely
It's gotta work. We want to leave it top. Off. It's there. That's where I want it.
Tap this and roll in.
I heard him now.
Give me like T-line weight.
Oh. So what did you change?
All right, yeah, then sweep it if it's the same weight.
Okay.
Okay, now we can hear the
Now we
Diamond
can get
State skip.
everybody on there now. So thank you to Michael Dobbs, who also is tirelessly working to make this Bonspiel happen. How much sleep you on now? All right, so he had a little more sleep tonight, but I'm sure he was here late last night. Oh, I don't know why. There we go. Meanwhile, in the second end, Broomstones stole 1. So they are now up 3-0 on Potomac 5. That's Russ Kirkman's team. And Philly got 1 on Potomac 4. I think Philly stole 1. Nope. They took 1 on D.
Tried to get it behind that yellow, but went all the way through.
Albany, meanwhile, took 1 in the second end. So they're tied with, not Jersey Pipeline. No, that's not true. Let's fix that. Up on Jersey Pinelands.
Did you call him the pipeline?
It was there was another P unnecessarily
Just T-line weight.
in the scoreboard. It's early. My typing ain't that great.
Now we can actually hear the skips talk.
Weight only. Now I need it to curl. Up, up, up.
Wait only meaning sweep only if you think it's not going to get what I needed. But it just stayed out there for too long and didn't come back with not enough curl to get to the rock that he wanted.
Come back line weight.
Now Bucks County calling for a heavy draw or a light tap on that yellow rock that's shot on the left side there. Looks like a nice shot. Good
Nice
delivery.
He called for backline weight. I did not.
Still needs to curl there. It's not curling enough yet.
Oh, we buried him real good now.
What was backline weight?
It was.
Yep,
It's a little-
the weight
little
was
wide.
right, just didn't curl enough.
T-line weight. No. Back line weight. Yeah.
Calling for hitting a roll using backline weight. He's going to try to pop that red out. End up sitting 2, maybe 3.
Yep.
Good, smooth delivery there. Got to wait for that to start curling. It's not curling yet.
Yeah, it's floating out on that
Yeah,
right side.
It's just staying. Not much of a curl.
Could try in off.
That would just kick the red right in.
It would. Yeah. Look at that angle. Instead, it goes through the goalposts.
Red just trying to draw, smooth draw in. Let's see that.
Top 4.
Adam, how many people do we have watching this game?
Well, we are currently at 25 on the web stream.
So welcome everybody. Thanks for tuning in on a Saturday morning.
Yeah. Croissants and curling, perhaps.
So the call was for a top 4. The sweepers were on it out of his hand, which means he's either really narrow or light. The skip's calling him off.
Doesn't. Well,
It's narrow. It's going to wreck on the yellow.
just close it a little bit more. No, it's just lined up.
All right, Andre, bring it back. Try that again. Hit and roll. Here it comes.
All right.
Back line weight. Thanks.
Trying that same hit and roll with less ice. Lessons learned on the previous shot.
Oh,
Yeah, right there. A little
he
narrow.
did not look super confident coming out
No,
of the hack
no.
on that.
And it's
It's
a little bit
down weight.
light, yes. Might end up becoming a draw if he can make it around the guards, but it looks like it's going to crash on the guards.
It's a
Sweepers are
round.
holding it.
It's
That's
a
good.
round.
A little bit more of a sweep there, and it looks like a measure.
It's close. Real close.
All right. So Bucks County calling for a draw into the center there behind the pile of guards and pawns and other stuff.
Looks like no team here, none of the two teams here is trying to hit a lot. They're just trying to go with some smooth, low-weight hits even when they need hits. So that ends up creating a lot of guards in the center line and forcing them into draws around.
This is the kind of game I love.
Junk up front.
Love the junk up front game.
So you're going to try that same shot once again?
I would.
Yep.
Well, if he takes it out, he's sitting 3.
Yes.
Which,
He needs a big end,
yes.
and that puts him in position to get it.
A little more weight there.
Sweep that.
A little narrow, too. That's why the sweepers are on.
Oh, he's way
All
narrow.
the way, all the way, all the way.
You might get the promote on the other yellow.
It's pretty good.
Oh, he got it.
Hit and
Nice
roll.
shot.
Very
Good
nice
drop.
shot.
It's definitely taking advantage of that straight run over there on
Yeah.
Sheepy on the
When,
right
when
side.
he let go, I thought he was a little too narrow to actually make that shot work, but the sweepers held it very well. So, all right. So now Red is got some things to debate here. Let's see.
If I hit the guard, I hit the guard.
Let's see what he comes down and says to his sweepers what the shot call was. He didn't put his mic on.
Giving us some interesting stuff to play with, boys. Coming with good weight, just trying to chip their yellows out.
Not much space to come around and hit
Hard
both
normal.
yellows there.
That's my hope.
I can
I
see it
cannot
from
be
here.
wide.
There's about half of a
If
rock,
I'm narrow and I
half the
take
rock
guard,
is visible.
That's fine too.
But we saw from the yellow shot that it doesn't curl much there, so he's got to come with a very light weight.
He said hard normal, so
So he's coming heavy. Just get half the rock.
That is definitely normal up.
Might get the triple. Got one of them out.
yellow's still sitting 2 though. So still with an opportunity here for a big end. So let's see what they're deciding to do.
Yeah, I'll try to guard this hole.
It's better to throw it too,
Yeah,
too hard.
and ideally end up closer than this, but so give me here, I guess.
Is this what you guys would call here? A draw,
So
draw the top 8?
So you look at, you're down 6-0 in the third end. You got to put points in the board, right? So I would be, at this point, I would be trying to stack as many in the house as I could. And, he's trying to guard a hole. I would actually go to the other side since the back Yellowstone's actually open. And I would basically throw that same shot, but on the other side.
Yeah.
Try to sneak it in there and be sitting 1, 2, 3 at the end of the end.
And if you want to come on that side, maybe I would just come with a hit and roll.
Yeah, I might hit and flop as well.
Yeah, getting that red out of the house would be very nice. But he's definitely draw weight. The sweepers are not on it.
It's a little
Now
up
they're
draw.
going. It was a little wide, but it's coming back now very nice. In fact, it might actually over curl.
If anything, you got to push it.
Just put the guard up. But there's still a lot of open ways to draw in there.
I do not agree with the guard. I would have definitely put another point in that.
Probably was not his intent. But like you said, John, the other side is open for red, for Bucks County to draw into. So that's what looks like they're doing here. In fact, at that angle, I mean, they could even do something like a back 8 or back line weight.
Getting a little intel on the Diamond State team. So as we learned, the Diamond State skip has got 2 years under his belt. So the rest of the team has that or a little bit less. They get to curl 1 night a week on arena ice. So being here is probably a little bit of a exciting thing for them.
And that might be what's tempting them to do a lot of draws because
yeah.
arena ice is very hard to do.
If you play arena ice, draws are where it's at. So. All right, so
he's got a chance to put one more in
so
there.
Bucks County threw missed with their last shot here. This is hammer for Diamond State. They're sitting 1-2 with the opportunity to draw for a third.
So this is mostly a weight shot. Just has to get it mostly within the white circle, 8-foot circle.
All he's got to do is outcount the red stone on the left. And let's see. By the way, if he makes a really good shot, there's a cowbell right there. That's what it's for. They can hear that.
Oh, they're definitely not touching it, as it really
It's
needs
a
to
little
hook in,
heavy, and it
but
needs to curl around that.
I think it's getting there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's perfect.
It's definitely
Great shot.
Nice shot.
T-line weight, perfect to the 4-foot circle.
All right. So 3 for Diamond State. So
Coming back.
Makes a game.
Right.
All right.
Got a game now. I will say I've seen some of the Diamond State T-shirts, a little diamond with the curling stone handle. Those are nice. Like it. So, there are what, like 50-something clubs now in the GNCC?
Yeah, more than 50. I think
like
it's like 54. Or
Tampa, like. At what point are we going to have to split up the GNCC? Jackson.
So GNCC is actually the largest curling association in the United States now. So it's actually a little scary.
the issue is that it's very widespread. It goes all the way from Maine to Florida.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for teams to come together and play. Most of the teams are in the Northeast. We are among the southernmost. We were for a while the southernmost dedicated ice facility. And then after that, now we have Triangle in North Carolina. We have also Charlotte has a dedicated facility now in North Carolina.
Huh?
All right. So because Diamond State scored 3 in the last in, they threw first. So Red will have hammered this in. Their first stone was a guard. It's a high, what we call a high guard, a 1 guard, just over the hog line. Pretty close to center line, so it ended up being a really good stone. Bucks County's calling their first shot into the house on the wing. A lot of teams have different names for this. It's a little wide, ends up touching the sideline and going out of play. A lot of nicknames for that side shot where you put it in on the wing.
Also a shot I really like for a Dykes tournament is to do that.
Well, you put one on the outside and you basically challenge the other skip to come after it, right?
Yep.
If you're going to come after it, you're going to play that game. There's a lot of chances for misses the further you get away from the center line. So.
Corner guards are for losers in the 500.
So the losers.
It's such like a, I don't know.
So Diamond State called for his second shot to be 3 guard, although it's going to come into the house. It's probably going to be back 4 weight.
And stay open, which would be something that an experienced team would just go for the hit and roll behind the guard. And the call is for a draw in front of it, which is not a bad call either.
Yeah, a little corner shot. Other games are starting to wrap up their end here.
We'll get you a little bit more of an update in a second. Hang up some scores.
So this looks like it's going to be maybe a tap. It looks a little bit heavy for a draw. Looks like it's over curling. It is going to be a little bit of a tap. Was it the call?
But that's
not
a very nice
bad
shot.
outcome. Yeah. And he flops over a little bit. He's not completely buried because he's poking out the side a little bit, but he's pretty good. So now this is one where I do not agree with this call. Right? There you go. I will tell you, his job should be to freeze down on that. He needs the backing, right? He needs to steal 1 or 2 here, and that's kind of what he's playing towards. Once again, a little bit heavy. The sweepers are not on it at all.
Yeah, and it's not curling back because of the weight. The heavier the rock is, the less it curls.
Came down right at the end, but it was just a little too much. The call was for T-line weight, and it actually goes pretty close to hack weight. So a little bit too heavy. Stone doesn't act the way you expect it to. All right. So Bucks County now, this is their 3rd stone here, so it's the first stone of their 2nd. But apparently there was a mix-up here. He was throwing the wrong stone. Luckily, it's the right color, though. I've actually thrown the wrong color stone in a Bonspiel.
We've all done that.
We've done that too.
What we do when we throw the wrong color stone, all that happens is that if it's a timed game, your clock keeps going, but you just replace it with the correct
You have
stone.
to slide the other stone down and swap them out.
In shame.
And it's actually
you slide it in shame.
It's very embarrassing.
Some score updates. Albany got 1 in the 3rd end, so they're 2-1. And Broomstones is playing Hamburglar, stealing 5 points against Potomac. They're playing in the 4th end right now. That's also a game style I love playing, the Hamburglar.
You a point stealer?
I love point stealing. I also call that the death by 1,000 cuts game.
Oh, that's when you get all the 1s scored on you.
Yes. As I always tell my team, if we never have hammer, I'm good.
Same.
All right. So once again, Diamond State calling for a draw in. This looks a lot better from a weight perspective. The line looks a lot better. Sweepers are now working it.
I would just stop sweeping now.
Yeah. They need it to curl a little bit.
Finish.
There you go.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Very, very beautiful shot. Now that we've taught them about the cowbell, we're going to hear it the whole game. So, Diamond State makes a nice freeze down on the stone that was in the house. Bucks County has no choice but to come down and just with some weight and just move Granite around.
Yeah, hope to go across the face and then hit it on the opposite side to kick it to the other side. But the ice that he's giving there, it looks like he's just coming onto it.
Yeah,
Maybe
just like
just a back 4.
He's just going to hit it, yeah.
A light hit.
This is definitely a light hit. That was not a lot of weight coming
We
out
just
of
need
it.
to see if it's going to curl enough or if it's just going to jam the yellow into the back. And And it looks like if it hits it, it's just going to go into the red.
Did you
Just a kiss and go there.
did you hear the skip?
I did.
Yeah,
I
the
did.
skip
Yes.
did not understand the line on that one. He made a little expletive there. This is live curling, by the way. We do not have a bleeper, so
No.
you hear what the skips say, regardless of what they're saying.
Yes. And we have a few mics in the ice shed itself, so you'll hear things from other games. Thankfully, someone like Steven Enixon is not out there, so you won't hear him all game.
Sweet.
Sweet.
All the way.
Which is on his rock over on sheet C. And every time I throw it, I laugh.
So yellow came up a little light on the draw. They hit their guard.
Red's going to try that shot again.
Adding more little grants in front. So their right side of the sheet's guarded pretty well. Now he's calling for T-line weight, so he's just going to come down and sit on it. I guess he's relegating himself to maybe getting one out of this. If he sets up a corner freeze, and then comes down next time with some weight, he could possibly move it around and get one or two out of it. So.
Looks a little heavy.
Yeah, looks like a lot of weight
call.
there.
And it's wide.
It's just going to take his from the back.
Yeah.
Unless it...
Oh, it's coming down now.
It's...
Coming
yeah,
down.
not enough. It's just going to hit the red in the back.
Or further bury that yellow.
And closer to the red, which makes it even harder to...
So Diamond
hit it.
State looking to steal. So he's calling another one in. Freeze down on that one. You could do that, or you could do a guard. It depends on how aggressive you want to be.
Well, I like the freeze here because the freeze gives you a chance to steal 2. Very hard to get rid of that yellow, especially if it's
They need to not be sweeping this. They need to not be sweeping this.
It's heavy and it's wide.
They need not be sweeping it. Not unless he's just sweeping it to get it by.
Make sure that it doesn't stay there to do damage.
Yeah. And it goes through the house. So, call from Bucks County is a draw in now. T-line weight. I think Bucks County is relegating themselves to just trying to score 1 here in this end. Save a steal.
Well, depending on the angles when he gets here, where he puts that rock, he might have a chance to move rocks around later.
They need to not be sweeping. Oh, well, no, it's
That
really
one's
light.
fine. That
really
one's
light.
coming around. It's a good
It's going to
shot.
be on the inside corner, which is really...
Yeah, it's going to end up being a guard there.
That's the risk of a freeze in that situation. If you come up light, you're providing a guard for the other team. Now, Diamond State looks like he's ignoring. Let's see what he says.
Again, I guess try to just draw close to it. So I've been about here.
So the call is to draw down onto the button. This is what you said you liked.
I like the draw there.
Yep.
And if you come up a little short, you got a guard there. You know, maybe a.
So red can't
in the
draw
house.
because
Yeah.
with the yellow being behind T, you can always draw in front of it.
This is Steve's first shot here of the 4th inning. Once again, Bucks County, the Redstone, they have hammered this in, which means they deliver the last stone. So, looks a little wide. It's not going to come back.
Wide and heavy. No, it's not heavy, but it's wide.
It's not going to come back onto the center line.
At least leave it up there to block the red from doing what they were trying to do. The closer they get, the narrower that port gets.
Okay.
And I don't think there is a port
No,
left
there's
there.
no port there, not for the weight that the red was throwing. So let's see what they have to say.
I don't know that I have a run back on that. I don't think it's there. We could try. We could try come hack weight right here. Let's give that a shot. If I hit this, then I may glance and even get it that way.
Fancy.
Calling for the tick. That's a pretty gutsy move there. All right. So he believes he can get through that. He said a run back. But if he comes with enough weight, I mean, technically he could get through that port. I don't
Hit
know if
yellow,
I
and
don't
then
know
with
if
the
stone
shooter, you
stays
hit
around.
red, and red goes back.
Oh, you're talking about the tick. The tick and flop.
Yeah.
Push back. Yeah. Saturday morning shenanigans.
Easy.
Feel it on your feet. Pebble is gone. It's not gone.
Here in another sheet, the pebble is gone.
Already?
Yeah, it's only the fourth.
It's only the 4 then.
All right. I believe if I was red in this situation, I would throw with a lot of weight and just open it up. But
Take out all the long
yep,
guards there.
I would take out the yellow and the red in front of the house. Open yourself up so the last shot you have a shot. So.
They are.
He's going to go through.
Yeah, it almost looks like he's going to get.
No, he's going to pick his red. And the shooter goes out the back. He does open it up, so depending upon what Diamond State does here, he does have the opportunity to hit it on his last shot. Diamond State's going to call a draw here.
So put me over a little bit then.
The question's going to be is whether he's going to draw for a guard or going to try to put another one down into the house as a point as a counter. So he'd have to put it like basically on the button.
Yeah, it's a little hard to come there with that yellow guard close to the house. The angles don't look like they would work very well. You would have to miss that yellow by very little to be able to come into the red circle and outcount the red rock. It's doable, but it's not easy.
Here's Diamond State's last stone here of the fourth end. Red
A little
does
bit heavy
have
too.
hammer.
Might go on the promote there. That's very heavy. Just replace the guard.
No harm, no foul. All right, so red now has an open hit. I mean, he could come down. Let's see what he says.
I like the angle.
Oh, he's doing an angle raise.
Angle raise at 5 and under. Look at that.
I would come to an open hit
Yeah,
on
I
the
probably
red.
want to hit that about on the four.
I'd
so
come
I
through the
hit
port on
this
the left to do it.
right about
On the
here.
yellow and
Yeah.
and hope that it drags
So
enough
give
to the
me-
left. I
All
don't
you gotta
think it
do is
does.
nose
Not much.
All you have to do is
Probably right
nose
here,
the
I'm
yellow
coming
and you
pretty
score
good weight.
one.
With the shooter.
It's okay, that's not the shot he's calling. So he's calling.
No, you're right. We'll do the draw.
Huh? He's trying to draw again.
Yeah, there you go. That's the shot.
No, a little more. Yep.
They haven't been able to read that line very well.
3-0
Sometimes
for
it
the draw.
curls, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it
Yeah,
doesn't.
3-0.
3-0 for the draw. I don't know what
No,
timing
it's-
system
Well,
they're using.
yeah.
It's not the same that we're using. A 3-0 would be a hit anywhere.
So the numbers that you heard the Skip talk about, so every team has a timing system they use where they time the stones from certain places, fixed places on the ice, and they base the speed of the stone on that. So the sweepers are on it out of the Skip's hand. The call is a draw down. It can be heavy. He just has to be on the yellow stone.
He's going to hit the guard. He's on the guard.
And he crashes, leaves.
So, steal of one.
Steal of one for Diamond State to put him a little bit closer back into the game. So now it's 6-4. Technically, you're not supposed to shake the cowbell for a steal.
Some very, very, very excited supporters here for Diamond State. It's always nice to see.
Oh yeah, see the handle now. See the diamond with the handle on
see
it.
it?
Yeah.
That's a nice shirt.
All right. Meanwhile, over on sheet D, team, I think it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson, got 2 in the 4th, and they're playing now in the 5th end. It is 4-2 Philly.
Philly with the hammer again.
Yes.
Once again, picked up a little bit here from him. Needs to move quite a lot. Thank you, sir. All right, so yellow Bucks County's first stone because they stole. Once again, they do not have hammer. So their first stone was a center line guard. Ends up being good guard. Bucks County's first stone here. He's calling a draw in.
I would like it in.
Meanwhile, over on sheet C, the final stone of the 4th end is about to be delivered. Russ Kirkman's got, I'd say, about 6 inches to draw down for 2. He needs to more or less get button.
All right, second shot here, second stone for Diamond State. Once again, he called for another guard.
and now Linda Kirkman is out supporting Russ as Russ made a fantastic shot over on sheet C to score 2. Oh, he made a great draw right down to the button, and then more or less went pin on his second. So
pick up a 2 for Potomac.
2, yes.
Now it's 5-2 against Potomac.
Well, yes. So Broomstones is still up 5-2, but Potomac coming back.
Red comes in with a very nice draw behind.
Very nice. Yeah. Nice shot.
So Red does have hammer, so yellow has 2 nice centerline guards offset. Call from Diamond State to draw in either with it or behind it.
Deep as he can.
Weight looks good.
Diamond State second throws his stone here.
Good delivery.
Kevin Eller.
Good shot. Thanks.
Looks way wide, did not come back.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the sweepers did not sweep it. Counting, so
Red's going to go for the hit there,
Buck
hit and
County's
roll.
going to hit and roll in. Bottom line is just get rid of the Yellowstone. Oh, he's a double clutcher. So I noticed the Bucks County person who delivered the stone there, he actually let go of the stone, reach back, and then put the handle on it. So it's very gutsy delivery. He hit it right on the beak.
Is that
right
a
on
legal
the
delivery?
nose. Right on the
Let
nose.
go and put handle back on?
Yeah, you're allowed to touch it, but as long as it doesn't cross the hog line.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the old rule was
the
that
old rule you
once,
couldn't.
yeah, once you release the rock, you could not touch it again. But now it's specifically spelled out in the rules that you can let go and then touch it again as long as it's before the hog line.
Wow. Island, so.
Kevin throws his second and final stone here at the 5th end. Once again, it's just wide. Does not look like it's coming back. He puts a lot of positive handle on his stones, and therefore it does not curl a lot on our ice.
A lot to spin.
Yeah. But watch him when he delivers. See if he does it again. The call this time is a draw. Yeah, see, he released it and went back and touched it again. So that's just his delivery method. So seems to be working out for him.
The final adjustment.
Yeah. It was more like he goes to let go and he just lets the handle slide in his hand,
and
then at the very end he just tweaks it one way or the other. So it's a little heavy. It's going to stick around though in the back of the house. So.
They're piling those rocks in the house.
So once again, Bucks County's piling them in there. They're looking for a big end. All Diamond State's got to do is sneak one in there, though.
Draw between those two reds near the center line, and it's really hard to get to it. Oh, he's going to hit stuff?
I don't.
Give me,
Why would you hit the guard? You have a draw on that side, but he probably doesn't trust the line there.
Well, nothing's been coming back really that well.
Right, it's very straight.
Line's good. Needs to curl. Needs to curl. Hard. Nice, Nick, Nick. All right. Go, guys. Go.
They did figure out a way to outcount a few of their stones.
Yeah, now
result.
yellow is the second shot.
It's wide open though, so Bucks County's going to go for the hit, flop in.
Right on the nose. Nothing at all. Never.
Sweepers really want to sweep, but they're being told not to. A little bit wide. Hits it right, kind of on the nose.
Ends up
pushes
taking the
back.
red out, but at least it takes the yellow, which is
Yeah,
what
they're
they
still
needed.
sitting 4,
Yeah.
which is all right. But there's a lot of space in there. If yellow can just sneak a stone in.
Yeah, now it's time to draw
Calling for a
around.
draw.
The draw on the right side, he cleared it up, and now he's going to use it.
Yeah. So this side's been a little bit more responsive throughout the game, behaving a little more like you would expect it to. This is down weight and looks a little narrow. Sweepers are on it out of his hand. Looks like they're going to be able to hold it out. The question is whether he's got enough weight to get there. And now the skip's coming out the sweep. This is usually not a good sign. And it comes up
very
short.
light.
Yeah, it comes up short. So it's a 3 guard. That's a 2.5 guard. So it's a couple of feet away from the range. Does allow for a promote later, but I don't know if that's really what the game they want to get into.
I guess one, that's okay.
All right. Bucks County's calling for a draw on this side. The other side of the sheet. So they're going to try to put another.
Just stick the knife.
Yeah, put another point in the house.
Sweep line.
Oh, Skip's calling for line.
Afraid
pretty
that it's going to
early.
hit the guards there.
Yeah, looks like it
Hard
might.
line, Bill. Hard line, Bill. All right, just let it.
All right, now they're saying, no, it is going to crash on the guard. Goes over and ends up guarding the port on that side. So yellow doesn't really have a draw on that side. They have to go back to the side they just delivered on.
Or do the easy double there. Easy triple.
Easy triple.
Easy triple. I like the easy triple. Anytime a triple's involved, the word
There's
easy,
no easy.
The word easy usually isn't in the same sentence.
Very heavy hit on that yellow, the two yellows that are together where he's putting the broom right now. Will get to the other red. I just don't know if he would be able to get both yellows
they're
out.
kinda
Probably
off
the
kilter
top
a little
yellow
bit there.
would stay there.
So
But I think that's the shot because you got to start getting rid of rocks and keeping the lanes open.
Stay down. Call Linda. Go to
Someone
one
fell
room.
there.
Call Linda.
We got a curler down on sheet A. Curler down on sheet A. Curler down on sheet A.
all right, right there, and I'll hopefully hit it on the inside.
Why is she wearing boots?
Oh, you're fine.
His head did hit the ice. So it's a curler from was it New Jersey? Pinelands went down. So I think we're going to stop curling here for a second. Let this deal with this medical issue on sheet A. You're saying pause the clock. All right. So we're gonna pause curling here and let's take care of the medical issue on sheet A. Where we had a curler go down from Jersey Pinelands. It looks like he did hit his head on the ice. So. I'm fine.
What are we doing?
I'm just waiting. The clock stopped. So
Linda needs help to get out of the ice.
he
because
says he's
wearing her
fine.
boots.
I don't know if he's going out or not.
No, I mean, what are we
Oh, what are we doing?
Let's use this as good
Oh,
time.
I'm trying to that front stone, like the two that are together up there on the left. I'm trying to hit the front one, break it apart, and then maybe get the one on the inside there.
We are going to restart the clock here.
Yeah.
I'll give him a few more seconds here and I'll start the clock.
So you heard the call. The call is a hit. So Diamond State is doing a hit.
Ends up coming narrow there and hitting the guards.
Again, now we're on skip stones. Bucks County is sitting 4 right now, but a lot of stuff is open. So
Come like back 4, back 8 weight.
so he's calling maybe a little tap on the red stone that's in the center there. Push it back.
Closer to the button.
So he tells
What's that? I just tap our red back. On the center line back. Just kind of fill the 4 foot is our goal. I'm going to come like back 8 weight. Is that enough ice, you think? We've been overcooking a lot of them. I think so.
All right, so the skip asking his front end if that's the right line.
He should be calling the line, asking them about the weight.
So he's gonna. His call is for a tap, and he is way narrow off the stone. Way narrow. So the call is a tap on the red stone, but he's gonna crash on the yellow guard out front.
Now he's hoping that yellow won't get to the house after he hits it. And that's exactly what happens there.
So,
Out counting 3 of his.
so instead of going from sitting 4, drawing for 5, they're now sitting 1. This is not what you want to have.
It's
happen,
unfortunate.
So, yeah. All right, let's see what
take out weight
Diamond's
on
going
it.
to do. So Diamond's going for the
take
jugular. He's going to try to take that red stone out.
I don't want to.
Oh, that's the right shot.
Either.
It's sit 2.
Yeah, I would try to hit it on the left
so if I
side
go
and roll
wide, it's
behind
not a
those
big
2
deal,
red
but-
guards. If it goes behind those 2 red guards, it can't be hit. But red would still be able to draw to the center. The other option would be to try to cross it and just roll a little bit to the right. It's probably better, but harder.
All right, so they're only sitting 1 right now, so I'm going to hit the one that they're sitting.
Okay.
Hit and something.
He's going to hit
Hit and stick, hit and roll, hit and something. Just hit.
Hit and something, yes. Hit is goal number 1. Get rid of the red stone that's on the center. A lot of
A little
push,
bit wide.
little push at the end. The sweepers are on it, though. Oh, now they're off. There was a lot of push there at the end.
Oh,
and
right
it comes
through.
up just a little narrow.
If
So-
the sweepers had kept on it, he might have
wicked.
wicked off the other red there and hit the red that he wanted to hit.
So now if you're Bucks County, you just draw for 2 or
you do the run back on the
try
yellow.
to get the run back and sit 4 or 5.
That line's very straight, so he doesn't have the light tap, which would be the 3rd option here.
He's calling for a draw, so he's going to relegate himself to 2. I mean, he's already sitting 1, so
If he makes the shot.
assuming he doesn't promote a yellow in to shot, yes. So he's sitting 1. He's going to go for 2 here.
We're just gonna, if we tap ours, we're sitting 2. Our red that's right there on the center.
So we're trying to run our attack in the
No,
yellow?
we're trying to tap our red that's in the house to sit 2. If I sit on that red, we're sitting 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's the end of the end. So, what's that? No, because I think it's too risky. I think we could take out ours and they could be sitting 1. So let's take 2. So 3-0, 295, 295.
All right. 295 using some
I'm
timing
really
system
curious
which
what
we're
timing
not
system that is.
Some timing system which we have no idea what it is. Tee to hog? That's
Tee to
what they
hog.
time? They time tee to hog. Okay. So we usually time in our club for
Back
those
to
people
hog,
who
back
time.
to hog.
We usually time back line to hog. So for us,
A draw.
375 is usually center of the house. 3AO is usually in front of the house. A 4-0 is a guard. So we throw those numbers around. So the outcome of the shot was he was a little narrow, and Bucks County takes 1 in the 5th end. So the score's now 7-4 after 5 ends. So we've got 3 more ends of play. Lots of curling. It's a very close game, actually.
There's also updates on D. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is scored a point, stole in the 5th. So they are down 4-3. And over on sheet A, Albany and Jersey Pinelands are now tied at 2 as they play in the 5th end. And on sheet C, they're about finishing up the 5th end. Let's see what happens. They're on the penultimate stone.
So first shot for Bucks County, because now Bucks County, because they scored, now Diamond State has hammer on this end. So Bucks County's first shot is a center line guard. And comes the rest is a nice center line guard. Actually, S curves back onto the center line. So. So Diamond State's calling for their first stone to come into the house. So he's trying to get a big end here. He'll try to put up as many points as he can.
Linda was watching, but Russ just made a beautiful draw with his last shot on sheet C. Again, covering pin. Had it when he needed.
So Diamond State stone's a little narrow, a little light. Sweepers are on it. Looks like they might get it over the hog line. Nope, nope, it's going to come up as a hog. So another 25 cents for the piggies on the side. So for those people who do not know, if you're throwing the stone and you do not get it past the blue line on the far end of the sheet, we call that the hog line. It has to cross that line completely in order for a stone to be in play. So, Bucks County's second shot here. He's calling for another guard. Stone looks a little wide and heavy, so it's going to come into the house.
Do we know if there's any money in our piggy banks on the hog lines? Or they went like tapped it and checked? Oh,
so, second shot comes in. It's not buried. It's top of the 8. It's wide open. Diamond State's going to ignore it though. Very good call. So ignore that shot. Draw in on the other side behind.
So you notice that this is not Olympic level curling, but
this is.
So the strategy here is avoid the big mistakes instead of make the hardest shots.
This is a heavy shot. It's going to go through the back of the house.
But everybody who's playing in the Olympics was once a 5 and under, either as a junior or as an adult. Mostly as a junior.
You all start somewhere.
Mostly as a junior.
Yeah.
Are you saying that most Olympic curlers did not start as adult players?
That's exactly what I'm saying, yes. Yeah, most of them started as juniors. They've been playing since they were 6 or 8 years old and have played for 25 years or so.
All right, so this is Bucks County throwing their third stone. He's going to call another one coming into the house on the other side. At this point, Bucks County is going to try to force Diamond State to a single point here.
They're still putting rocks in, so they're trying to get the steal here. That's going to be a guard, yeah. Now yellow should hit that red and roll behind.
At this point, yes. Over on
And
sheet,
that is the call.
over on sheet C, Potomac did steal one. It is now 5-3. Broomstone still winning.
Stone is
Yeah, that
narrow,
needs sweeping.
Narrow. They can hold it, and they are. So they will get past the guard. Very
That's
nice
a nice shot. Rolled just enough
Very
to stay
nice
behind
shot.
the guards.
And
Perfect.
everybody gives them a thumbs up. Very nice shot. That should be a cowbell shot.
Now it's time for the cowbell.
There you go. Let's do a little coaching of the
the supporters.
Support staff here.
Hard, guys, hard! Come on, get it flat, get it flat!
A very nice hit and roll behind.
So Bucks County now. They're trying to do a run back? Oh yeah, they're definitely trying to do a run back here.
That's a narrow run back. Not much space there, but at least clears the guards for them.
Well, but Bucks County doesn't have fingers, so.
He's usually throwing wide on these.
Didn't change much.
I think I heard the skip say he usually throws wide. Sometimes as a skip, you will broom to your players' tendencies, whether or not you tell them that.
And then sometimes it backfires.
And it's
on you.
like, oh,
because
he's
they
right
on the broom.
When they actually hit the broom, yeah.
It's like the one time.
Yeah, when you have someone who is consistently wide or consistently narrow, you adapt your calls.
Like the one time.
Except when you need it.
Yes.
All right, so
A little
Diamond
bit wide
State's
there.
second throwing his final stone.
Got to
here.
make its
First
way
one
back.
Really wide.
Now they're sweeping for weight. They just want to stay in the rings.
It's going to stick around. Going to be in the back of the house. Not
That's
too
good. That's
bad.
I don't mind those.
Yeah, and a hit and roll off that would not outcount the shot rock, so that's good too.
So once again, Bucks County does not have hammer, and so he's trying to do a tap back. Okay. Back house a little too much weight.
There's still a lot of space there to draw behind that.
So he's going to try
I
to
would
do
go for a
tap
draw
back.
behind, and if it's narrow, then you use the promote as your plan B there. A little bit heavy.
So Diamond State try to come in with another one.
Another draw. Draw to the button. That's the call.
This is Diamond State's Vice. He's been consistently light on his draws.
And looks like that again. I would be sweeping that hard because otherwise it's just going to come back and hit stuff before it gets where he wants.
No, he's gonna. I think they're gonna try to wick and.
That's a good rock, but it's a
Wide
dangerous
open,
position.
Wide open for hit and roll. Yep.
Yep.
So if Buck County if they get this hit and roll, then Diamond State could be in a little bit of trouble here.
On the plus side, there's the jam for the yellow running back, and if you're not at the right angles, you might just get your rock to roll out, the red rock to roll across the house, and still 2 yellows would be in there.
He calls the sweepers on it. It looks down weight.
Might get right in the middle,
Oh,
or get rid of it and lose the shooter. Oh, wow.
Completely misses the shot. You can't cheer for a miss, though. It's against the curling spirit. Well, we're just letting you know you can't cheer for a miss. It's against the curling spirit. All right, so Diamond State's coming down here. This is their Vice's,
gotta curl,
Vice's
come on.
last shot.
Trying to get it to go right top 12.
Yeah.
They got the weight right. It's probably top 8, top 4, but
This looks exactly like what they called, actually.
oh, wow. That's a nice shot.
Yeah.
And it protects the shot rock.
Yeah.
Makes it harder.
Yes, that could be a cowboy shot.
It's looking like they're setting up for a comeback. They're losing by 3 points. They have 4 rocks in the house.
Well,
Red has to do something now.
it looks like he might try and double them out, but even
one.
that won't give them shot.
Big weight.
Hit and roll, hopefully. So want to take the 2 with the 2 top ones.
Now, couldn't
they
you
called-
come at it the other way to try and get a more deeper angle on your roll?
Yeah, well, he called big weight,
Called big weight.
hit and roll. I don't get the hit and roll
He
part.
might
Oh,
cross
he wants to
face
roll
him.
right behind that yellow or roll into the yellow.
Does.
That's
I don't
on
know
the
how
center line.
He's
Uh,
wide.
But he's wide.
He's
so
wide. He's going to hit the one in the back, probably. Oh.
Very unfortunate. Putting 2 yellows into very good position.
No cowbell.
No cowbell on that. No.
No.
That's what I was reaching over. No cowbell.
Cowbell was not rung for a miss.
If I'm Diamond State right here, I do the same exact thing.
What, not ring the cowbell?
Well, not ring the cowbell, but also draw the top 12.
Yeah, now you protect those 2. Yeah. Protect your shot that's on the edge of the 4-foot there, because that's the shot that Red's going to go for. It's to hit that and roll behind.
And Diamond State does have hammer this end, so
Yes.
this shot should be a guard. Should be protecting, whether it's in the house or not, it's really irrelevant. Should be protecting the shot rock, which is on the edge of the 4-foot.
And the line looks good for that.
Well, that's what he just threw. It's
and
literally
then-
the same shot.
And then with his last shot, draw in for another point.
Well, but red would try to hopefully draw on the other side after this shot. It's a little it's in the house.
It's heavy.
For sure.
It's heavy. It's going to be
It's probably through the house.
well, it's going to hit something.
It's going to hit the back one and take
maybe
its
stick
place.
around. Okay, well, that doesn't help
so,
them.
So red can still hit that yellow
Yeah.
and go in. They just have to make the shot.
And just hoping.
These are these moments, especially in this kind of event, when you're facing 4, knowing there could be a 5th. Like you tighten up.
Rule number 1 is get a rock out.
Yeah.
Rule number 1, get a rock out. Number 2 is I'd love to roll under cover.
Yeah.
So
You got to stay within yourself in these kind of shots. I mean, an inside hit gets him shot on that stone, so.
Line looks okay. Probably not for the roll, but enough for the hit.
It's starting to hook.
Yep, it's curling. No over curl. And it's all the way out. So all yellow has to do now is put one in the.
Don't touch that stone. It's still in play.
All yellow has to do is put one in the house
He
to get
looked
the
like
4
he was
points.
going to kick it.
Yeah, so tempting.
All right, so this is hammer. All yellow needs to do is draw. So yeah, go to the same side. You've done this draw a couple times. You got some backing over here. Let's
You
see.
should know what it
What is
does.
he even debating? Let's see what he's debating.
All right, just over here. Okay.
It's too far out.
You just need paint at this point.
Now the question was just to get the right weight, because there's no way to miss on line there and not make
Yeah,
the
we just
house
need it in.
if the weight is right.
Huh? They got nothing in the house. We're sitting 3.
Okay.
So. Yep.
All right, so it's a skip throwing against nothing. This is actually
It's a hard
It's
shot.
not an easy shot, no.
because the nerves are on it because you're like basically this is a free point, right? So
Yeah, and you trust your sweepers to gauge the weight right early on. They're not on. Now they
are.
did get on.
You can't hurt it at this point.
It looks like they're in the house.
It might.
Oh no, it just
I
stopped
think it's
there.
just stopping. And not quite.
that's what I was saying. This is it's a hard shot for a skip,
Really-
right?
really
so
tighten up.
it's basically it's a free point, right? And you're like, all I got to do is just put it in the house.
Anywhere.
It's a big house, 12 foot, right? How hard can it be? And yeah, it's actually a very.
It's
difficult shot.
intimidating, and you start second guessing yourself. Do I go a little bit heavy and risk going out the back, or do I go a little light and risk not getting there? Towards the end of the game, in my case, I tend to think and go a little heavier because the rocks tend to slow down faster.
Yes.
Well, that particular case, I mean, he came up about a foot short of the house, but in the same sense, the sweepers weren't sweeping it out of his hand. So
Right. So they didn't
So
think
there was some misjudgment there on
but it might be
one
the
side.
slowing down of the sheet that early on that might have gotten him to the house, but now later in the game it doesn't because the ice slows down a little bit.
But the good news is we now have a tie game. So tie game going into the 6th inning. So they have 17 minutes
And I
to
believe.
finish this end up.
Right. And I believe that, yeah, they just have to finish the end and they can play.
They have to deliver the first stone of the 8th inning before.
I think,
before
no, it's the last
time's up.
stone of the 7th. They just have to make sure they finish the 7th.
So their
end
rule
on time.
here is going to be finish the end, not
Right.
start the next one. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not quite capital league rules. It's as long as they throw the last stone of the 7th before time is up, they can play 8.
Yeah, because I heard that last night. I
So-
thought it was like we play in Capital League that you have to deliver the rock before.
No.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was watching last
Right.
night, and the commentator said they had to deliver the first stone.
They had 25 seconds, so
Yeah.
they should be good. And I'm like, there's no way you're going to make it in 25 seconds because you're not going to be able to get the rock there. You're not going to be able to get the rocks to the back and have the first guy throw. But it's just finish the end you're playing.
It's more like men's league rules instead of cap.
Yeah.
Well, men's league rules is if you can sneak before the
coordinator
coordinator notices, he won't say anything.
Yeah.
Or if you're playing with the coordinator and you're like,
All right. So the first two stones here
guards.
are guards.
A red guard,
Guards.
Red guard
and a yellow long guard.
Yeah, long guard in the center for yellow for Diamond State, and a close guard for red. Of course, red has hammered this in, so guards on the center line not really where you want to be. Yellow is going to go ahead and come on in. Let's force the in here. So red's going to call backline wait. Just push it a little bit and flop in.
Now, as an explanation for the timing, if you have been watching the Olympics goes by a thinking time. We call it the thinking time. When the rock is moving, basically the time is not counting. It's just like the time that you're thinking about it and getting ready for your throw. The way we're playing here, it's just one clock, not one clock for each team. And we give an hour and 52 minutes. And when the clock gets to 0, you just finish the end you're playing, unless you just finished one and then you play the one after that.
And the reason why we do that is because we have draws that are basically, there's a certain amount of time in between each draw. They're trying to keep all the draws on time, on schedule for the day. So these games need to wrap up so they can mop and nip and pebble for the next games, so that we can keep everything going on time.
Yeah, if you don't have a clock showing up and people aware of how much time they have to play, they tend to play a little slower, and then that accumulates during the day. And if you have that 10 p.m. draw, if it starts moving to 10:30 or 10:45, then you know you're not going to finish until almost 1 a.m.
So red missed with their takeout there, so yellow's going to try to put another stone in the house.
Yeah, but it's over curling, so
Yeah,
it might
it's
just
over
hit the
curling.
guard and split the two guards and protect the shot rock. Not much. Promoted a little bit, but
The guards are off out of line now, so still a shot, still a chance to come around. If the stones are going to curl well, you still come around and get that yellow stone. He did call for hack weight, which for those of us who can't see, the hacks are about 3/4 away between the back line and the edge of the ice. So he just wants the stone to come to rest. If it didn't touch anything, it would come to rest just past the back line. So that's the kind of weight he's asking for. That does look like good weight there.
we'll have to see if it's good line. That's where the ice is a little bit straight, so it might just stay out there a little longer.
And the shooter has, the person delivering the stone turned around. He kind of gave up on it. And it was the right weight. So it did go to hack weight, but it was not the right line. So at this point, yellow, instead of calling a guard, yellow's calling a freeze down onto their shot stone. So,
which if executed correctly would be a great shot, but it's a hard shot to get exactly right. If you have some separation, your opponent is going to try to hit both out.
So this is Kevin Eller with his second and final shot here of the 7th inning tie game. A little heavy. He's going to pop it out of the back. That's not the ideal situation there. Now the Yellowstone's a little bit more open. Skip tightens the broom up.
So now he wants to draw behind
No,
to
he
the other
just
side?
he just wants to hit it. He's going to hit the yellow out, hit it and flop it. That double clutch. And
The release, grab, and release again.
Oh, I hate that.
One more thing to think about.
Yeah. There's so many, it's like, like golf, curling throw has so many mechanics.
He's a little wide again.
Wide again, yep.
All right, so yellow at this point.
Do you protect it, or do you just put another one? I don't think it's curly enough to put one on the opposite side of the 4-foot.
He's saying put another one and sit on it.
Well, center line, yes.
All right.
He's trying to give about 4 feet of curl. That line will probably give him 3. If he hits the broom, he's going to get between that yellow rock and the center line.
It's down weight. The sweepers are on it, pretty much out of his hand.
Just keep it out there. Keep it straight as long as you can, because it might end up being the guard that you need to be able to steal this in.
The sweepers are on it all the way, trying to drag every little inch out of this stone.
And it's a good guard for the shot rock.
It does end up being a very good guard. So at this point, Red's got to start peeling stuff out. That's what he's calling for. So let's get rid of stones in the front. As much weight as you can give me, Steve. That's the call. So.
Yeah, too many Steves in this game.
So he's asking.
We'll just call everybody Steve.
Yeah, everybody Steve. So.
Steve with the throw.
So he asked Steve with the sweep.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
To try to execute the shot that Steve called.
Yeah. So.
Takes the guard out. That's what he needed. That's what he wanted.
All right. So
he's still being aggressive. Wants to put one more in the house.
Still wants another point in the house.
In other action, they just finished the 6th end over on sheet C. It is now 6-3 Broomstones over Potomac. And on sheet D, it is 5-3 Philly over Potomac.
It's a
as they play in the 7th.
Little
it's very wide, very wide.
And it's a spinner. He's a lot of positive handle there. That stone's not going to come back. It just never, ever came back. And it goes out the back of the house. All right, Red has one more shot here.
Another chance to hit that yellow, now open. Line looks good, John.
Sweepers are on it for line.
It's a little light. A light hit.
Calling on it. It's right down to it.
It's a hit and stick.
Yep.
No roll. He really needed that roll.
But he does get rid of it.
It
Now,
was
granted,
bothering
it's
him a lot.
Still an open hit. Let's see what
or should I try to draw in from this side?
he's trying to figure out how to steal one.
I'll try the hit and roll first. So
I would definitely go with
there.
it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if you make the hit, even if you don't roll,
weight?
you avoid the 2.
Yeah.
Giving up 1 wouldn't be too bad.
It's not curling
They
much
still
on
have
this
enough
line at all.
time that they're certainly going to be able to start the 8th end. We have 8 minutes on the clock.
All right.
And you heard him. So he has caught on to what we've been saying all along. He's not curling a lot on that line. So.
And he's calling at the edge of the rock.
Yep.
Hit and roll.
Doesn't need normal. Even control would probably get it.
Back line probably, I guess.
Oh, wow. That's not the lot.
I would throw more weight than back line.
Bumper at least.
This could be one of these things where you say back line, but you're really throwing like hack or bumper. You say these things. But that
He
looks
threw
like
a little bit more the back line.
That looks a little more.
That's a bumper.
A little wide.
Got a little bit of a curl, and he's going to take the red out, but.
All right.
Yep.
So he
Hit
forces Bucks County to make this shot here.
For a maximum of 1 point.
Give me here, because I just assumed. Pretty true.
I still have a
Wait, yeah, Wade
This is
is,
first
is
of
not.
This is the
curling at
first.
all.
Oh, it's the first
skip
rock?
stones
Okay.
for
I thought it was his second rock,
No.
his last rock.
So once again, he broomed right on the edge of the rock.
Which is the same that that Brian called for Diamond State.
Ever. So I think normal, just controlled side of normal probably.
Okay. So for those people who do not know, when he says things like control, he's talking about a little bit down weight. Controlled stones usually move a little bit more than a stone that you throw normal weight, which is a higher takeout weight. The deep breath before the hit here. The game's on the line. I mean, this is a
These are
really,
some
really
big shots.
tight game.
And as you said, John, it's a losers out game.
Yeah.
So staying in the tournament depends on winning this game.
This looks like a very nice stone. Very nice stone. Sweepers are on it hard for line just to get it past the guard.
And they do,
They do
but
get it
it's a little
by.
bit far in there.
So he gets the hit, but he does flop out.
A
So
clean house.
Clean house. Not a bad outcome for that stone. I mean, granted you would like for it to stick around, but
Nope.
not a bad outcome for that stone.
Now it is time to be MC Escher and draw.
Ouch!
All right.
You've never said that going down?
No. I've
You're
never
like, all right,
said that.
Picasso,
No, I haven't.
time to draw.
The takeout line is not there.
What are you trying to take out?
So
No.
He wants to avoid a condition where Bucks
He's-
County can take out
He's
his
trying to
rock.
avoid where Buck County can take it out.
I guess, yes.
So the
See what
idea
he-
is that
see
it
what he
will
tells the
curl
front
behind
here.
the guards and stay safe behind the
try
guards
to
in a
run in.
position that he can't be outdrawn or he can't be hit.
it's not in. It's not in. No. Yep.
All right. Calls a draw in. And he does the magic carpet delivery.
Shout out to Craig.
Line's good. Weight looks good.
Weight
Maybe
looks
a little bit heavy.
It's a little heavy.
Gotta hope it stays in the house.
It'll stay.
Sticks
Well, really
around.
hard to hit it, but it can be outdrawn. Just has to draw closer
what
to
line
the
he
center.
took?
Just a little bit less
Doesn't
weight.
matter because he didn't take a line.
What did he just
He
say?
he said he didn't take a line.
He said, "Do you see what line he took?" He said it didn't matter. You hit the line anyway. Or something like that.
I think he was asking where the broom was, if he remembered where the broom was, but he said it doesn't matter because he didn't hit the broom. So you got to pay attention to what your opponent delivers, not only what they call.
Shot finally.
There's a curious story from many years ago at this club that someone told his skip that they were not going for the broom, they were going for the tip of his shoe.
Yeah, it's his foot, yeah.
And they played the whole game, and the other team was like, "Were you guys missing every shot?" He's like, "No, I told my team to throw at the foot of my shoe, not at my broom, to confuse you guys."
So Bucks County, he's
very
coming for a
narrow
draw.
there.
He's
Yeah, it's
narrow.
already
It's
on a
going to
card.
crash. But he told his team coming in. He said, "You know, we're either going to either be in the 8th with the hammer down 1, or up 1 without the hammer." So I think he was fine with the outcome either way. So Diamond State steals 1 more, which gives them 8-7. So that means that Bucks County will be coming home in the 8th with the hammer, but down 1. So not the most advantageous way you want to play the game. Down 1 without the hammer, with the hammer. So. All right. So 3 minutes left on the clock. Our game on sheet B is definitely going to be able to play their 8th in.
Sheet D is playing the
Sheet
8th end
D
already.
is playing their 8th in. The other 2 sheets are getting.
Sheet C is unlikely
Sheet
to play
A
the
is
8th.
not even close. All right. So Diamond State's first stone is either in or through. Okay.
Meanwhile, over on sheet D, yes, it's 5-4 now. Going into the playing in the 8th end. Philly has hammer and the 1-point lead.
Heather Curler says prepare for an extra in on sheet D.
I'll be honest, I don't know what the tiebreak rules are.
It's up on the screen.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
So if you blank the extra end, the hammer team loses. No unintentional
All right.
10th end here.
So Bucks County's first stone, they hog it. So another 25 cents goes to the piggy. Diamond State's calling for a guard.
Anything in front of it would be very good now. Guards are good for a team that wants to steal. The team
Well,
without the hammer.
So they're without the hammer up 1. I still want to steal.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to go to that extra end. You want to win right
I'm
now.
I'm never playing for an extra end. All right, nice.
Unless you're the trailing team and you want to get those 3 or 4 points to be able to get to the extra end.
Nice center line guard there. Bucks County calling for a shot in on the button. It's always nice that when the skip turns around and looks at the warm room as the person's delivering the stone. Kind of makes you wonder what's going on there.
He was probably looking at the time, but they started, so that's a nice shot. That's a very nice shot.
Shot finishes up.
Closer to the center would be
Back
better,
just
but
over the center line.
it's still something that you can hit and roll in. Even a nose hit would take your yellow from the back, but would leave you exposed.
Yellow's calling for Diamond State's calling for the takeout. So Brian's
you really want to cross the nose there just a little bit.
Brian's asking Kevin his second to throw a takeout here.
And Kevin has good form, a smooth delivery.
I'm telling you, I could have sworn he thought he played.
Oh, they need to sweep that.
I've either curled against him or something. I know Kevin.
That's going to be a very good shot. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a very nice.
That's
shot.
a cowbell shot.
That's a cowbell shot. Yeah. All right. So Bucks County with their first shot from the seconds here, he's calling for it to come in and freeze down on the button. Diamond State is setting up very, very well here for a steal.
Looks like Brian was surprised that the shot went out so well.
Looks like a very nice shot.
Yeah, nice draw right into it.
No, it's not going to draw. It's going to tap it.
Yeah, it's backline weight.
They actually probably overswept that.
Yellow still shot.
Yellow is setting 1 and 2. With
Put your guard up or bring another one in?
I would bring another one in because all your stones are behind the center line, so behind the T line. So at this point, I would start bringing more stones in. You're going to try to end up in a situation where your red can't hit you out. So this early in the end, I would not guard up the shot stone. I'd actually bring another one in. So what about you, Adam? What would you do?
Let's see. Yeah, I would draw to the top 8 center.
Stone's a little wide. It is going to be in the house. It is going to be a nice counting stone, but it is a little wide. It leaves a pocket. Leaves a pocket for Bucks County to get
draw
in there,
and make it very hard to take
yeah.
your own rock out. Well, he's going to hit
He's
it.
calling a hit and roll, hit and flop in. So.
And a good hit there would take 2 rocks out.
Now, their second, he's been the last couple of hits. He's been a little wide on. So
that's a clutch release.
He's a double clutcher. He's broomed it really close. Oh, the sweepers are on it. Looks like they should not be on it.
I think he dumped it inside a little bit on the release.
And it's around the house. So anytime the stone's moving back towards the shooter, that's a good thing. So he does tick the front stone, takes the back one out, and ends up sticking around for second shot. Now at this point, Diamond State's guarding, so they want the shot in the house, but he's really worried about guarding his shot stone, which is at the back of the edge of the floor. So. Stone looks a little light. Sweepers are on it. Skip calls him off for line.
Line is good. Get it over.
Finish it.
Go.
It's a very good guard.
Yeah, very good guard. So now Bucks County is going to rip it out.
Let's clean up this.
Open the front up. So this is what you ask. This is what I was saying. You typically ask your vice to hit stuff, open it up, so that at the end of the game, you as a skip have the opportunity to make the shot. So he's asking his vice for probably a double here.
Yeah, he was trying to get first the center and then the other one, but I think that he's going to miss the center.
Yeah, no, it's not going to get the center. It's going to get the other one.
Almost got the long
Almost got
double.
the run back, yeah. It's okay.
Put one up. Put it in.
Yeah, I would go in now.
I would go in behind the guard, right?
I would go top 4.
Yeah.
Either that or hit
front
this,
of the house.
hit this red one back
hit
here.
the red.
You see any of that? It's red. In the hack?
I would probably put one.
And this is really wide.
Well, he corrected at the
Yeah,
end.
he did throw it in. So
he slid wide and then he
but throw it
corrected.
in. So
Weight looks heavy.
Might go.
all right. So now Bucks County's calling for. Oh, let's open it up. So he
Clear
wants
the
another.
guard. I would
another
clear my
shot.
guard too. Well,
Yeah.
if you try to clear both, you're going to leave one of the 3 there.
Yeah. But it's, he wants the one off
You
the
really
center
need to
line.
peel so that you keep them center clear.
Yep.
But he really needs to score 2. 1 would give him an extra end, but without hammer.
All right.
He got that yellow guard, but he put his own rock almost in the same position.
Let's see what he calls. Let's see what Brian says.
Here.
Okay.
All right. So he's calling for another shot in the house, top of the 8. That's what he's asking for, just off center line. See what he tells his sweepers.
He's got to do 2 things: protect the
trying to
rock
decide
that's
if I wanna
there
take
and put
those
another one in
those
there
2
to
in
make
the
it
back
harder.
out, but
Being light is okay.
I want to.
Leaving a gap is not good.
Yeah, I'm trying about like right there. Right, I don't want it. Short's better than. Yeah.
Air on the side of short.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't throw through.
Well, you have a little backing on this side if you're a little heavy.
If you're heavy, hit the red. Well, he's definitely light. Light enough that it won't go through. I think it's going to be a guard.
They should be sweeping that.
Yeah,
very
it's
hard.
going to curl towards the center like crazy there.
Yeah, and it's going to come up way
Over
short
and
of
up is
ours.
fine. That's fine. It's not great, but it's okay. You still need leave enough space that you can draw behind.
Get 2. Try and run or try and draw.
I guess it depends what's going on. So he just said, how do we get 2?
Right.
You hit that now, you're sitting 2. And then you'll probably have a shot for you.
Right.
You draw and you're sitting.
Yeah, that's the second shot right there.
But I mean,
So,
you can only
yeah.
do your second shot. Drawing is
I like drawing. I haven't hit a draw yet, but I got to be full white. That's really what I
5
got-
under,
well, I
5
gotta
and
get
under,
there,
ladies
don't
and gentlemen.
I don't like that.
It's not the shots you make; it's the shots that you don't make yourself into. Don't throw yourself into a worse
Yeah,
condition
give me
than you
about
were
an inch
before.
off of it.
So he's going for the hit,
He said a draw.
but now he's signaling
Yeah.
for the hit for the run back.
So
Which
the question
run
is, how
backs
do
are
we
always
score
hard.
2?
He doesn't trust his draw. Or he
Well,
wants
if I
to
do
draw
this, I
between
think at best,
the yellow and the red.
At worst, it clears up some space up there.
I think he's hitting.
Giving me two ways to draw. At worst, I mean, at best, it clears.
I mean,
it
that
knocks
yellow
them
center
out.
guard
We're
is
sitting.
high enough where you could draw going left to right, and they're still backing there for you.
Well, he's going to try to do the run back.
Yeah, I know that's what he's
So-
trying to do. I was just still thinking about what he could have done.
So pretty much a beak shot, like right on the nose of this stone. It's a straight run back. It would be the shot of the game. So
They are on it. It's close.
That changes things a bit.
yes, now Diamond State with their final shot.
They have to draw.
Let's see what Diamond State has to say.
Yeah, draw in, I guess. Because I mean, they have hammer, so
You could hit the red. If
You
you can
could.
hit the red and double them
Yeah.
out, you're sitting 1, 2, 3.
so
With an
either
easy hit
take
for
out
your opponent who's trailing.
and make
So
sure
you're
they can-
sure that your
they can only
opponent is
tie.
not going to score 2.
Yes, you're guaranteeing
They
at
try
least
to
a
sit on
tie.
So you're playing the long game instead of the short
Yeah, try to
game,
sit
which
on
would
it.
be trying to draw in and
So-
steal.
Give me.
And the back red doesn't count at all
No.
because there's no way to get the 2 yellows on the wings out.
Me personally, I would hit.
Let's try to.
I would hit too.
I would hit and force him to make a draw.
Can't be as wide as I have been.
You know.
Because they have been inconsistent in
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah. But he's going to call for the draw. He wants to put the stone in the house. Try to end the game right here. That's what he's trying to do.
Trying to draw in.
All right. All right. So you heard the call.
So many
the call-
ways this can go wrong.
True, but
Because he has to be perfect. He has to be behind that guard. He has to be in the front of the house.
we're independent.
we got some nasty looks here from the Diamond State supporters. We're just trying to analyze the game, and we would all go for that hit here.
I would go
Yes.
for the
But
They
maybe
all
he
go
doesn't
for
trust
that.
his hit.
That's
Yeah.
possible.
So, calls a draw.
It's light.
But he did hit the broom.
Yeah, but it's light.
The
Maybe it's
sweepers
not
don't
light.
seem-
I don't think
sweepers
it's that
don't seem to
light.
think so.
No.
It's light.
Way over
It's-
curling. Way over curling.
No, looking pretty good, actually.
Oh, wow.
That is a
That's
fantastic.
a
You
cowbell.
can ring the
That's a
cowbell
cowbell
now.
shot there. Yeah. All right.
That is a clutch draw whenever you needed one.
Yeah, and that's very hard to get out of there.
Yes.
We were all going for the safe shot. He went for the gutsy
for
shot,
it.
and he made
Where
it.
we were last time.
And again, that is a little bit of advantage coming back towards the warm room on sheet B. Is that line is a little quicker than others. If you can get on that draw path, it's a little quicker than others, and it's ran a little straighter.
You guys are playing really well today.
Meanwhile, we had handshakes over on sheet
I'm gonna ask
C.
you for advice after
Brimstones
this.
was victorious.
So all we had was the run.
I
We
think
have to
Albany
get it for
was
one.
victorious over on sheet A.
That was
Double
pretty
check
heavy
that
last time, right?
result.
Full normal.
But here's the shot of the
Be a
game
little
right
lighter
here.
this time.
And they're throwing the last rock also on sheet D.
Yep. And the skip calls him on it out of his hand. Off. He's already on the yellow.
Maybe the double there. Look at that. Oh, a little bit too much there too.
All right. And that will end the game. Diamond State comes out with the
With
steal
a
of
comeback win.
Comeback win.
Comeback
Trailing
win.
by 6 in the beginning.
A steal of 1 in the 8th to end the game at 9 to 7. 9 to 7. Diamond State over Bucks County.
Frank with his last shot on sheet D, trying to curl around. He doesn't have enough, so that's game there too.
Yep, so looks like Philly was victorious over on D. And yeah, I guess that'll about do it.
Thanks for
From this
joining
draw.
us. In just a few minutes, we're going to start the next draw. I think it's at 10:30.
Supposed to be 10:15, I think, but since these games ran a little long, they still need to mop, pebble, nip. So probably 10:30ish, we'll be back on the air with the next game. So
All right.
thanks everybody for joining us,
Yes,
and
thank you.
we'll see you next time.
All right.